No, you're not stupid. It's just
Wait, did you tell us in the chat?
no. I didn't tell you guys that anything. Not even Mike doesn't even know, and he's not even paying attention. Hi, guys.
Hi.
So as you can tell by this title, we're doing Act 2 of Hamilton because some people didn't do their homework last week.
Look.
Don't be pointing at me. I did my work.
Sure.
Hold on. Why are you pointing at me?
Because you're the one who didn't watch Act 2.
I did watch Act 2.
Anyway,
I wasn't even here for the Act 1
stream. I'm talking about last week, Mike. I'm talking about last week. Anyway, so we were going to have a special guest on today, but she messaged me actually late last week and said that she couldn't make it last week or this week. But she emailed me. Trying to find that email. Hang on. I have with a video attached to it. So I'm gonna show y'all that right now. I have the video downloaded on my computer, ready to go. Where is she? I have so many emails. I need to go through these emails. Hang on.
That's what I hate about emails. Like, texting is so much easier and like work.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay, it's not been that long since I've messaged her.
The only reason I have emails for my YouTube channel, and then for like.
Well, her name. If you guys know her, I hope so. If not, then y'all don't know Hamilton. Her name is Morgan Marcel, and she is part of the original cast of Hamilton, and she was ensemble member. And she wanted to be on our stream, but she couldn't because she wanted to spend time with her family. So, and we all understand that. Mm-hmm. So she sent me a little video that I will play for y'all. I'm gonna pull it up real quick so that way when I do. I was supposed to get... So. And she also answered a few questions that I sent to her. She didn't answer them all, but she answered some of them, and I'm grateful that she did. So
better than nothing.
Yeah, and again, so Morgan, if you ever watch this, thank you for even taking the time to send this to me. I greatly appreciate it.
Really hot. That's not good.
Did you say you're really hot?
No, my computer is like hot.
Hang on. Yeah. Just so I want to make sure I see y'all's reaction. So I'm pulling the thing up on my phone. Okay. So I'm gonna go on the share screen and we're gonna go into like a little apocalyptic weird little thingamabobber. But this is so y'all can see it. So I'm gonna mute you all so you all can hear this, okay? So I'm gonna do boop screen share. Sorry, this is taking a little longer than I wanted to. Boop. Shut up, Mike. Okay. So I'm watching it on my... Okay.
Okay, I was supposed to give this video so many days ago, and it like went in a general DM and Instagram. Anyway, I'm so sorry. Okay, I hope you're watching it. I hope you're having a good time. Thanks for supporting. I'm Morgan, by the way, if you don't know who I am. I was part of the original cast, but I was a swing, so I'm not in the film. And went on to become dance captain. So your host asked me a bunch of awesome questions. So I'm going to answer just like a few really quick. The rehearsal process. So they did a lot off Broadway, which I was not a part of. And then on Broadway, they had like 2.5 weeks of rehearsal. And I was a swing and I was new to the show. So I was just looking at them like, what do you mean I have to learn like helpless and satisfied by myself? Like I'm having a stomach ulcer. And then we went to the theater, which is a really exciting time, and we did tech for like 3 weeks, and then we did previews for like 4 weeks, and then we opened. She also asked about costume changes. We had a lot of costume changes. You don't really notice them when you watch, but if you get to watch again, or this is your second time seeing the Hamilton film, we put a lot of coats on. We do a lot of like kerchiefs, a lot of vests. We change our shoes for help us satisfy for room where it happens. And some of those are pretty fast. She also asked about mishaps on stage. One time I was doing rehearsal. I was holding the rehearsal, so I was teaching the replacements that were coming in. Across the street from the theater, actually down the street in Times Square, from the Richard Rogers. I was holding that rehearsal. The stage manager called me and she's like, someone has gotten injured in the show. You need to go on for them because that's what a swing does. I canceled the rehearsal. I ran like 4 blocks in Times Square with all my stuff, no makeup on. My hair was probably like this. I put dark purple lipstick on my lips because I had no makeup on, and I was like, I'll put something on, and that's what I could grab. I didn't have my wig on, so my hair was just up, and it was long at the time, and my wig was short, and I went on stage like with barely my costume on. And I'm pretty sure Stephanie Clemens, our associate choreographer, filmed me getting ready in the wardrobe room downstairs, and everyone like quick changing me to try to get me on stage on time. Anyway, I looked a mess. They probably were like, one of those girls is not like the other one. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful time watching the film. Thank you again for your support. You can follow me at Morgan Kei, Kei, on Instagram. And yeah, come along for the ride.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, so Morgan was sweet enough to send that to us. Everybody is on mute but Michelle. So yeah, I thought that was really cool that she took the time to send that to us. Like she said, she's not in the film, so don't be going back and looking at Hamill film and be like, she's not in the film because she was doing other stuff at the time. So, so Morgan, thank you so much for sending that to me. Stephanie,
I think we should clarify that when they say they use the original cast for Hamill film, it was only the principal cast. Hamilton, Lafayette.
No, some of the ensemble members were part of the original cast, but they only got back who they could get back. But Stephanie, who I reached out to, said she would have loved to be on the show, but she couldn't because she had a son, and our stream conflicted with his bedtime, which is completely understandable because they do have lives outside of Broadway. So, but yeah, so everybody here watched Act 2, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap of Act 1. Who wants to do the recap? Who can talk fast?
You. Yeah, you can talk fast.
Oh, I mean, I can try. You all let me know if there's anything I missed out. All right. So we're gonna see. Let's see how long. Somebody time me. Let's see how long it takes me to
Hold on.
to recap. That's my ability.
Mike, you're gonna time her, aren't you?
Yep.
I'm doing the bare minimum. I'm doing the bare minimum. All right. Ready?
Okay, ready? Set. Go.
Okay, so there's a guy named Alexander Hamilton who's some island in the Caribbean. I don't remember the island, but he came in to America to start a new life, was underestimated. He went to college, graduated in like less time. He's like, oh, I want to go fight a war. Okay, let me go fight a war. He goes and works with George Washington to be his like secretary or something. And welcome back, Christina. And oh God, I'm blanking. He keeps bugging Washington. Let me have my own army so I can go do this and this and this. And then King George is over here like in England, and you guys aren't gonna be able to be your own country because I am your king and you guys can't live without me. But anyway,
King George is
the Revolutionary War happens. They win, obviously. Alexander Hamilton is like, oh no, let me do this, and this. I don't remember what he did, but then he gets married to one of the Schuyler sisters, which is Eliza, and one of his friends dies. Don't know who. Can't remember who. Lafayette comes back with a whole bunch of people from France and like, yo, we're here. We're gonna fight y'all. And then yeah, so that's it.
That was quick.
1 minute, 7.58 seconds.
Hey, that's good enough for me. Okay. Okay. So, I forgot to mention Yorktown. Damn it. Oh well, whatever. So you want to introduce your little friend, Mike, or your girlfriend?
So everyone, this is my amazing girlfriend, Stephanie.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. We're all like a classroom. It's like, we're a new student. Hello.
Hi. My name is Stephanie. I've been drinking for several years now. Just kidding. Hi, my name is Stephanie. I like musicals.
Then Liz will like you too.
What?
You
Liz will
better
like
if you're
you
with
too.
Mike. You better like musicals
Hey,
if
no
you're with
PDA.
Mike.
Yeah, no PDA. Stop it.
Oh my God,
How long have
Liz.
you guys been dating?
A couple weeks now, right?
I want to say,
About a month.
yeah, about a month.
Oh, I thought you guys were like 2 years or something.
No, Mike's a very.
Where does that compatible?
Sometimes we even finish each other's sandwiches.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh my
Aw.
goodness.
Did you guys go to the same
Anyway,
high school?
So diving right into Act 2. Okay, y'all. Can y'all like if you're gonna do that, can y'all just like get a room? Okay, diving right into Act 2. So Act 2 opens up with What Did I Miss? Introducing
I actually really like that song. Kind of.
which introduces oh god, I want to say Thomas Edison, but that's not his name. Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson. Yeah.
When I was
Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, I would get those two mixed up.
From
What
somewhere.
happened? Also, so props to Leslie for being able to play both Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson. So
Why do you think they made that decision?
That was David Diggs.
what?
Why do you
David
think they
Diggs
made that
played
decision?
Lafayette and Jefferson.
One at a time.
Leslie Odom Jr. played Aaron Burr.
No.
I thought.
Wait, who
The heavier.
who played Lafayette? I thought Leslie played Lafayette.
No, David Diggs played Lafayette in Act 1, and then he played Jefferson in Act 2.
Yeah, that's who I said. Lafayette, not Lafayette. Leslie plays Lafayette.
No, David Diggs.
Okay.
Leslie Odom plays the same character throughout. He plays Aaron Burr.
Wow, I've been getting that wrong for years. I've been getting that wrong. That's why I was like, why? What are you talking about? He has a lisp. But okay, wow. Then obviously I don't know anything about Hamilton.
So why?
Here, I'll be right back.
So why do you think they made the decision to have the same actors play two different parts?
Probably because he wanted
for certain characters.
Probably because he wanted the challenge, and Lynn was like, "Yo, you're talented. Do you think you can do this song at this speed?" I think all of it was is if he could do Guns and Ships at the speed that Lin and Miranda wanted. And so I was like, I mean, I'm happy with the decision. I love my little sign.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Watching Hamilton for the first time, hearing some of those characters being addressed as one character in Act 1 and then as another character in Act 2 kind of threw me at first.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
They started calling David Thomas Jefferson. I was like, wait, I thought his name was Lafayette. It wasn't until I watched it again and listened to the soundtrack again that I realized, oh, same actor playing two different characters.
Even I knew that, but
it definitely helped with taking notes and then looking up the actors who played what characters. That helped me a lot with figuring out, okay, this person isn't who they were in Act 1. They're this person in Act 2. That helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think there are only a couple of cast members that actually play one character. Lin-Manuel Miranda obviously plays Hamilton throughout. Christopher Jackson plays Washington throughout. The Schuyler sisters. Obviously.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh.
The Peggy lady. The Peggy lady played also Mariah Reynolds.
Yeah, Mariah Reynolds.
Oh, the girl in the red dress that Hamilton had an affair with?
Yeah, she also plays Peggy.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Only like 2 to 4 people played one role throughout the whole show.
Yeah. Well, because I think Miranda, he wanted to keep it as like a small cast, because like the smaller the cast, the easier it is to maintain and keep people on track. I can speak from personal experience with that.
And less drama.
Yes.
And like, if anyone here has seen or watched Team Star Kid on YouTube,
Never even heard of it.
Go watch a Harry Potter musical.
No, I don't like it.
Go watch what?
A Harry Potter musical. It's really funny.
Don't like
Okay,
it.
but see, if you know Team Star Kid, it's a very small theater troupe. So most times people will play anywhere from 2 to 5 different characters on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember in Twisted, one actor he played the baker, one of the guards, the genie.
Uh-huh.
He played the thief merchant. He played the thief.
One of the opposing princes.
And also, can we also point out, like, getting a little off track, but going with the Star Kid thing, one of the guys who started on Star Kid actually ended up getting landing on Glee. So
Darren
Yeah.
Chris.
yes. And also,
Okay.
can we have a
If
moment
there's ever a day that we cover a Harry Potter musical on this channel,
But you know we are.
need to get Voldemort in. The guy who played Voldemort is my favorite.
No, okay, yeah, because when there's no,
and he also played Prince Ahmed in Twisted.
Wait, who played?
Wait,
Into a different.
the guy in the paper. Christina, I'll send you the link to the video. Also, if we can get I don't know, because I'm pretty sure a lot. We need to get Malfoy. We have to get Malfoy.
We are getting way off track, but Jeff Blim is my baby.
We have to get Malfoy. We have to get Malfoy. Malfoy is like the best part of the Harry Potter musical.
I love her.
I love her too.
Oh yes, and for those of you who have not seen a Harry Potter musical, Malfoy is a girl instead of a.
I heard that. To pick farts.
It's on Mars.
And the headmaster's Rumble War.
Ask yourself.
Anyway, yeah, Stephanie,
We're getting off track. We need to get back to Hamilton.
I've never really seen anything about it.
Hamilton.
Anything about it, but most of the cast from Hamilton, also from the cast. Also, Lin Manuel.
I did not understand a word you just said.
Like,
because-
you're lagging.
You were breaking up.
I said that wasn't the same cast that was in Hamilton. Also, the same people that were in the Heights.
Not entirely, but yes, some of the cast that were in the Heights was in did Hamilton with him.
In the Heights musical, not me.
Oh,
Okay.
although
Yeah.
speaking of
Ooh,
Hamilton,
they come out,
I
yeah.
remember this.
I wonder if it's gonna come out to Disney Plus instead of theaters.
No, it's gonna come out. No, they're not. No, a movie like In the Heights is gonna end up being in theaters, so they're gonna wait until next year to release it. What, Mike?
Okay, but see, I love Hamilton, but I know that James Monroe Iglehart, who was the original genie on Broadway, left Aladdin to go do Hamilton, and I want to see one of those performances with James Monroe Iglehart in the cast.
Wait, who did he
play?
He played
It had to have been
George Washington, right?
It had to have been Washington or Lafayette or someone.
Well, I think it was Washington. Anyway, okay, so next we go to Nonstop, which is the next one I have on my list. Let me pull up the playlist real quick. So Nonstop is basically like a time jump telling y'all, hey, by the way, both Burr and Hamilton went to study law. Yeah. But what next? Okay, so they finished the song says that even though they finished at the very same time, Hamilton began to climb or something like that. I don't know. So Hamilton kept succeeding while Burr kept failing. That's the easiest and nicest way to put it. Yo.
No, the nicest way was that. Yeah, Mike.
What's up, Mike?
James Monroe Iglehart played Marquis de Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson.
Wow. Hi, Stan.
Was that the dog?
Another interesting fact. James Monroe Iglehart shares the same birthday as me, September 4th.
We have a special guest. This is Stan.
Liz, you're off track.
This is Stan.
Hey, look, it's Stan Lee.
This is Stan Lee. He reincarnated into my dog.
Oh, this
Nice.
is cute.
Let me tell you, every time she and I ride the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man at Universal, every time she sees Stan Lee pop up in the ride, she shouts, "Stan Lee!"
And I point him out so everyone else in the car can see him too.
Stella. Come here, Stella.
Come on. No, good girl.
Stella, Come, you gotta come say hi.
Anybody else have pets?
Okay,
Yeah, come say hi.
I don't have my dreamy here.
Hold on.
Are we talking about dogs or Hamilton?
Hamilton.
What?
We talking about dogs or Hamilton?
Hamilton. Anyway, what were we talking about? Mike, what were we talking about?
You said you
Well,
were discussing.
cabinet battle number 1.
Oh, number 2.
Yeah, number 1, then it's number 2. Number 2 is not till later in the act.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Because then
You're
after
right.
that, I have to say no to this. So, who wants to cover the cabin battle? Who wants to go over that?
Not me.
Honestly, I just have to say with the cabinet battles, I love the rap battle style in which they.
Yeah.
They address the audience.
That was a genius decision. Oh, I loved that.
Yeah, I also love that Christopher Jackson, George Washington, he starts off like, "Ladies and gentlemen, you could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us in New York City. Are you ready for a cabinet meeting?" And he's like the hype man. He's getting everyone pumped up for this cabinet meeting / rap battle.
Wait, isn't also the one in Satisfied where he's like, all right, that's what I'm talking about.
No, that's not. But that's
Who is that? Is that that's not,
Why can I
That's
never
part of
remember?
Act 1.
well, I know it's in Act
That's
1.
part of Act 1.
It's like John
That was
something.
at the wedding.
I know. But I feel like he's like, I thought it would be the same person because he was kind of like hyping them up, kind
Yeah,
of.
no, I think it was. It might have been. But
That's why I just made that kind of
I'm
reference.
not gonna lie. I like "Say No to This." That's probably one of my favorite songs in Act 2. Is "Say No to This" just because the girl who plays Mariah Reynolds, she like that's her chance to actually show what she can do, and she.
I like Burn. My favorite song in Act 2 is Burn.
Well, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
The "Say No to This" is basically
Okay, so Hamilton, paid off took the bribe for
no. So he
the
Hamilton
woman's husband.
no Hamilton paid James Reynolds like $1,000 to be like, hey, listen up, this never happened. And so he could keep seeing his whole wife is what he said. As long as he kept paying him. He did.
Okay, so did he actually keep on seeing her after he paid him off?
Yes.
That's why he
Okay.
made. I think he said later on he made like 4 separate payments or multiple separate payments for every time he saw her.
Yeah. So every time, basically, he was like, treating his wife like
The
a prostitute.
husband was basically pimping out his wife.
That's the word I was looking for. Pimping out his wife.
Hamilton.
Oh shit! Sorry, that was my phone. Just fell.
Are you good?
My phone just tipped over. Anyway, so yeah, but I like it because it gives Mariah a chance to show her voice, and that girl, she has such a rasp in her voice. I love it. But has to pay James Reynolds.
And like, I'm not gonna lie, she does the sexy seductress thing pretty good.
Yo, I would hit that in a
Mhm.
heartbeat. Let's be
There,
real.
Family friendly.
Well-
Friendly.
Man, we're talking about Hamilton. We gave a gave a disclaimer at the beginning in part 1, so maybe we should give it. Right? Okay, so here's your disclaimer right now. This may be inappropriate at moments because this is an adult show, and if you can't handle it, sorry. That's just I'm not.
Also, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it yet.
Also, spoilers. Yes.
Hi, Craig. What about it?
So yeah. Yeah. So that's your disclaimer.
I know it's a little late in the show, but spoilers.
There we go.
Yeah. More importantly, spoilers. But the next on my list is the Reynolds pamphlet. Because,
We're not gonna cover the room where it happens.
yeah, no, I was just about to go back to that. So you want, since you're the one who brought it up, do you want to lead us in?
Mike,
Go ahead, Mike.
come on.
Come on, Mike. Come on, boy.
Shut up, Liz.
What was?
Speak it, boy.
Yeah, it's just like Stop it.
Speak, Mike.
Yeah, I just like the song. Like,
Encourage her.
this for me was kind of the mentally unstable turning point for Aaron Burr.
Mm-hmm.
For me, because
His huge.
Aaron Burr in Act 1, he was already serving the United States Army long before this. But Hamilton just comes in and all of a sudden he just starts making moves and moving up.
Mm-hmm.
While Aaron Burr just gets pushed to the side.
Yep.
So this song for me was like one of the final moments of him like having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, it was like his breaking point.
It's like Hamilton's getting this and this and that and the other, while I'm just getting pushed to the side.
Yeah, so like Miranda actually, when I was watching the Drunk History episode of Hamilton, Miranda actually said how like at this point, Aaron Burr's like always trying to think about like where every time he had a chance to get ahead, it was always Hamilton that was in the way. So he began to blame Hamilton for all the bad things that was happening to him and him not getting to where he was at that point. So that's what I thought just messed with his mind. That's what Miranda said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, after that, what?
I said just awkward silence.
Anyway, after that is what's after that? Reynolds pamphlet.
Cabinet Battle number 2.
Oh, no, it's Oh, I know him. Okay, so I'm just gonna point out I know him with the King again, the King's final solo song. I love how he's just like, oh, what is it like? Oh God, this is gonna be fun.
And disclaimer for people. Hashtag Kristoff is King George.
Yes.
If you did not know that, then that is very, very sad.
I didn't.
Yes, so
I was gonna say.
Jonathan Groff, the voice of Kristoff in Frozen and Frozen 2, plays King George.
His spit game is strong.
I don't know why, but I can't recognize his voice. Like I listen.
Although,
I don't know why I can't recognize his voice in Hamilton.
The actor who was playing King George at the time on Broadway, gave the role back to Jonathan for a few days, so that way he could shoot this and run the role George. And then as soon as they were done shooting, the actor went back in.
Jonathan Groff loved playing the King.
So they filmed in 2016, right?
I can tell why. It looks like a fun role.
Yeah, it did. But there's a little part in the song. He's like, "Oh, well, they're all
they filmed it in 2016.
Tear each other into pieces. Oh, Jesus Christ, this will be fun." That just what makes me laugh because his face is like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, this will be." Then when he has his little spasms, he's like, before he sits down. Oh, that was funny.
Oh, I love his little clap. The laugh. I love it. And when he sits in the chair and he starts doing the dance, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It made me laugh.
But also, it's like I love the historical accuracy historical references that they do mention in the music. Because when King George laughs and claps like that, it does kind of nod to the mental madness that King George did suffer later in life.
Yeah. I think I had mentioned this last week, and if you guys did not see last week's stream, what the hell are you doing? Get on that and go watch it. But King George is actually the only character in Hamilton whose costumes are directly pulled from the history books. Like his costumes are actually based off of what they have in the history books, unlike everybody else's costume.
And his hat is so heavy. I was just watching a video about it.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. I was watching a Miss Mojo video today on like the 10 secrets about Hamilton. And then the lady was saying that the walk that he does
I was just about to say that.
He walks as King George was because the original crown he was wearing was so heavy that it caused him to walk like that.
Yeah, he had a walk.
So then he just kept doing it in later performances, even after they lightened the crown.
Yeah, but it fit the character. It really did.
Yeah,
it really did.
Trying to like stable himself or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine though? In the in the first initial performances of you doing that role, trying to keep your balance while wearing that heavy ass crown. Pardon my French.
I wonder how that must
And
feel. Wear a heavy piece of clothing.
What?
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
There you go. Thank you, Stephanie.
I wonder if he was like extra spitting when he was singing, because I know he naturally sings.
He actually does. He doesn't mean to do that. It happens when he sings.
Like, part of me wants to see him in other musicals now to see if he was spitting as much as he was in Hamilton.
I was watching I was watching the making of Frozen 2, and there were B-rolls of them actually recording the voices as he's singing. And even when he's singing "Lost in the Woods," he got some spit on his mouth. I'm just like, oh my god. I'm just like, dude, please wipe your mouth.
I would be so nervous to sing with him because, like, what if I got too close and he accidentally spit on me?
Why?
I would be nervous.
Who asked you?
Anyway, so we're gonna cut back to the Reynolds pamphlet and then go to Burn.
Okay. Yay, my favorite song.
Okay, so the Reynolds pamphlet is basically Hamilton. Okay, so a little bit before that, Jefferson, Burr, and Madison all confront Hamilton and be like, yo, we got proof of you spending this kind of money. What are you doing? And they're trying to accuse him of embezzlement. And he's like, oh, I never spent one penny that wasn't mine. And he shows them and tells them about that. And then like, oh, no one will know. But then he goes and writes the Reynolds pamphlet. Is basically his confession about the affair. And all hell breaks loose. And everyone finds out about his affair, and his whole marriage falls apart. Did I miss anything?
But he actually wrote the Reynolds pamphlet. Why do they call it the Reynolds pamphlet?
Because it's literally just like one slab of paper.
So basically, he wrote it because he didn't trust Aaron Burr to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, no, he wanted to get ahead of it. He wanted to be like, no, if people are gonna find out about this, they're gonna find out from me, and I'm gonna be the one to tell them what happened. So that way they hear his side.
It's kind of like with David Letterman. Wasn't he gonna be blackmailed for something, and then
they weren't gonna blackmail him? I don't think, but yeah, but sort of.
But he went out and he ended up saying whatever so that they can blackmail him.
And so then Angelica comes over from England, and she's here, but and Alexander goes running to her like crying, and she's like, oh, bitch, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm here for my sister. I'm not here for you. Which I'm just like, you go, Angelica. So
Angelica is that older sister that if you break her younger sibling's heart, she will butcher you alive and bury you somewhere.
Too bad my sibling was never like that. Oh well. But
I'll be your sibling now.
But yeah, so
you need me to take someone out for you because they hurt you. I got you.
I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, geez, putting that on the screen.
Yeah, too late.
It's live, y'all.
So Mike, you better not break my heart.
I'm a sister, and I'm a big sister to all the little sisters.
Anyway, so yeah, so the Reynolds pamphlet was to air Hamilton's dirty laundry, and his whole marriage basically falls apart. His wife doesn't want anything to do with him, which brings us into Burn. So I'm gonna let Tyler take it over since it's his favorite song. If he can stop eating for like 2 minutes.
Sorry, I'm hungry and I'm fat. Oh,
dang!
Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
So, back to our
I think we killed Mike.
Programming. So, Burn. Is a song. Try to explain it.
Burn is basically her being like, yo, I'm done with you. I don't want anything to do with you. And she's really burning the letters that he wrote her during the war.
Yeah. Like, she was like, you built me palaces out of paragraph. I can't really explain it now. Go ahead, Liz.
Okay, so Burn is basically her. She's like, oh, I saved every letter you wrote me. That's not me actually trying to sing. But she's like, and she's sitting on this little, it's a very emotional song, actually. saying that she's like, "Oh, I thought I was enough for you, but apparently I'm not." And so, and she's trying to burn every single letter that he had wrote to her during the war. And I'm saying that she's burning the. Okay, no, she actually says, "Hold on, where is it?" She says, burning the letters that may have redeemed you. You forfeit all rights to my heart." So she's basically fed up with Hamilton. She doesn't want anything to do with Alexander. She doesn't trust him anymore. She doesn't want him in her life anymore, and she's burning any evidence that could actually, because she doesn't want to hear any of his lies or whatever excuse he has. She doesn't want it. And so I'm just like, okay, cool. That's one way to get over a breakup, sweetheart. But I mean, it's like the 1800s. Divorces back then.
Hey,
But also, it's like,
What?
Hey, with my ex, I burn every single photo of me and him. I burn every single photo to get over him.
Married. They weren't dating. Like divorces back then were a huge deal. Like it was a bigger deal than it is now.
If you got divorced back then, you were a disgrace to your family.
Yep, you were disowned. Try being
no matter what the reason was.
Oh, what?
although it's like,
But did
what
she
impressed me
actually
is
divorce
that
him?
Huh?
I said, did she actually divorce him?
Yes, they did. They actually got a divorce.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
And then I think they got
what
back
impressed me is that what impressed me is that they actually physically burn the letters on stage.
Yeah,
It's not
like,
a lighting
they
trick or
did
anything. They
fire.
actually
They had-
burn the letters.
Yeah, like she had a match and everything, like an old tiny flint thing, because they had to make it match the historical time period, and she legit burned paper on the stage, and I'm just like,
Although
"Oh, but please be."
in Hamill film, I think they used like a gas. I think they used like an oil lamp.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they did.
And I know I was watching something, is that once when they were burning it, one of the papers like burnt out like before like it took a while to burn out than what it normally did, like does. Just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a fail. I don't know. Here, I'll be back.
Right, like, I know the actress who played Eliza dropped the letter pretty quick.
Yeah. But yeah.
Like it
Historically,
barely
did
burned before she dropped it in
burn
the
every single letter?
Huh?
I said, historically, did she actually burn every single letter?
Probably, yeah. Or nah,
Okay.
I wouldn't think so. I think she like would have saved a few of them, but she burned all the main ones of him, like, "Oh, my love for you," and blah 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 blah. Like all the stuff that like about him saying how much and how much he treasures her. I think those are the kind of letters he burned. She burned.
And like she probably wouldn't have lit them. She probably wouldn't have burned them one at a time through a lamp or a match. That would have taken forever. She probably would have just thrown them on a fire.
I would have burned them all at once.
She probably would have just thrown them in a fireplace, because then they would have burned all at once.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. Made it that much quicker. Anyway, and so we go into after burn. Woo! My phone almost fell again. Oh shoot! No, I need the playlist, please. Where's the playlist? Where'd it go? Hang on. Okay, I literally have the playlist right here, like next to me. You guys want to go? I mean, the next one on my list is the election of the 1800s. So that's the next one on my list.
I was gonna say we're not gonna cover "Blow Us All Away."
I mean, we can go for it.
Honestly, I just thought that one was funny because it was almost like a carbon copy of My Shot. And for anyone who doesn't know, "Blow Us All Away" is when Hamilton's son now enters the picture. He's just graduated from King's College, like his father. And for anyone wondering, what the heck is King's College? King's College now is Columbia University.
Yeah.
I think it's still in New York.
Yeah. So it was a big deal to go to King's College. So.
The problems I got criminal palace.
But anyway,
But his son had died in a duel.
that happens a little bit later.
And
That doesn't happen.
But actually, that does happen shortly after "Blow Us All Away," because and blow us all away. He introduces him. He comes in like, I probably shouldn't beg for dang, I'm amazed and astonished. And keeps going on about the similarities between him and his father.
Yeah.
But then he says, I'm looking for Mr. George Eaker, who disparaged his father's legacy, who basically talked crap about his father.
Yeah.
So then
1, 2, 3, 4.
someone says, oh yeah, he's seeing a play up the road or something.
Yeah.
So Hamilton's son goes to the show and interrupts and challenges the guy to a duel.
And he fails epically.
But then he goes to his father and he says, yeah, I challenged the guy who badmouthed you to a duel. What do I do? And Hamilton says, don't actually kill him. Aim high above his head. Well, yeah, it's like, he said aim high above his head, but that could have mean like aim above him or just shoot straight up. But when they're counting to 10, George turns and fires early and kills Hamilton's son.
And then that's what like brings Eliza and Alexander back together, is over their son's death. Because like Hamilton's a mess after he loses his son. He's depressed and he's just
Oh yeah. Like and stay alive or in the Stay Alive reprise. Seeing Lynn portray that raw emotion so realistically.
Yeah.
It's heart-wrenching, it's amazing, but it's also heartbreaking.
Yeah.
He is literally like emotionally and mentally breaking down.
What?
Huh?
Are you listening to, Tyler?
Me? Like something on the news. Sorry, I had to.
Hashtag no copyright.
You can hear it?
Yes.
Yeah, we heard it.
It's so quiet. I can barely hear it.
I couldn't hear it. We were
All
fine.
Right. I'll show you guys later when we're off.
Anyway, anything else on Stay Alive?
Stay alive.
Hashtag no copyright. To be honest, just
Hashtag no copyright.
I knew Lin-Manuel Miranda was a great actor from Mary Poppins Returns alone, but seeing him portray that reaction and that emotion so well.
So,
like, I don't know if he's won a Tony for it just by himself, but I think Lin-Manuel Miranda deserves a Tony.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm sorry. That's
because
I need to call my friend Nevaeh because she had a call with Shoshana Bean today, so I gotta call her later and figure out how that went.
Okay. Well, yeah, because
she got to sing for Shoshana Bean, which is a big deal to her because she loves Shoshana.
Who is it?
Shoshana Bean.
She was in a Todrick Hall video.
Oh yeah, but it's like
I love that you know that.
I think so. Hamilton, the show as a whole, has won a Tony, right?
Yes. It won. Hang on. It won
11 Tonys.
Thanks.
11?
It was 11 or 12.
It was. Hang on. 12 Tonys.
Oh yeah. But then we come to It's Quiet Uptown,
which is basically Hamilton moping and going like, "Oh, woe was me! I lost my son. I lost my wife. My whole life's going downhill." Basically.
But then Eliza does go back to him for a short time.
She feels bad for him, I think, but she eventually learns to love him again because she knows how much she can see how much he regrets hurting her because I mean. But the election of 1800, I guess is how you would call it. Jefferson is running for president, and so is Burr. So this is when Burr just completely 100% snaps because this confirms all of his my mental theories. Because it becomes a dead heat tie with the election. And so everyone's like, "Oh, Hamilton, what are you going to vote for? Who are you going to vote for, Hamilton?" And he's like, "Oh, Jefferson has my vote." And then Jefferson wins by a landslide. And this just sends Burr over the edge. And he's just like, "Okay, I can't get it."
Because Hamilton and Jefferson never saw eye to eye. Obviously, they never agreed on anything. But because Hamilton dislikes Burr so much,
yeah.
the only reason Hamilton voted for Jefferson is because he was trying to
sabotage Burr.
Flip a silent Burr to Burr.
And also because it was Burr's fault, kind of, that the whole Reynolds pamphlet thing happened, because Hamilton was too scared to find out if Burr was going to keep that or not. So that's kind of Burr's fault. I would never have confronted him. I would just been like, you know what, he had an affair, so what? But yeah.
Because didn't Hamilton say Jefferson has beliefs and Burr has none?
Yes, that he doesn't believe Burr can do anything. But then Jefferson tells Burr that he's not going to be vice president for very long. And then I have Burr begins to blame all of his lack of success on Hamilton, which at this point, if you actually look at it, I can see where Burr's coming from. I mean, I have a little thing quoted by Miranda word by word about that, but I'll wait to read that at the end. But I can kind of see where Burr's coming from, having this person who you've known literally your entire life, and had, like, both orphans, both of them lost their parents. They both went to the same law school. They both went to college. They both fought in the same war. Like, they had their past, like, same for a majority of their lifetime. And then, but even though they went down the same path, Hamilton kept succeeding while Burr kept falling behind. I can see why Burr kind of, lost his mind. Because then Burr challenges, I think it's Burr. It's Burr who challenges Alex to a duel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Basically, you need to pay me back for not supporting me and always being in my way. You owe me an apology. If you won't give me an apology, I want a duel.
Yeah, so then this is where... What?
Real quick, though. The previous song we were just talking about. They say this line consistently to Aaron Burr from the beginning of the show to almost up till now. It's, if you stand for nothing, Burr, what will you fall for?
Yeah.
Let's get this man in front of the crowd.
But that seems to be a common theme throughout the entire musical, is that Burr keeps saying, keep your mouth shut and don't say anything, and then just agree with everyone, and either way you'll win. And that's kind of like...
That's kind of what he did a little bit.
Don't let them know what you're against or what you're for. You want to get ahead? Fools who run their mouths off wind up dead.
But that's the irony. Okay, no, actually, no, that's something completely different. But anyway, so like that goes into the world was wide enough. Is when the duel happens and Hamilton fires up while Burr just kills him dead. Not really kill. He doesn't really die immediately. He's actually rushed across the river, and then he dies at home or dies in the hospital or whatever it's called back then. And then Burr's like,
I love the moment that when Burr fires, everything stops and everyone stands still, and Hamilton has that
internal
that moment of clarification or reflection before you die.
Mm-hmm.
He has that entire
monologue.
Oh, I'm about to die. My son's waiting for me.
Yeah, and so his mother's waiting for him.
His mother, I think he said Lafayette's waiting for him.
No, it's the other guy. Lafayette's still alive. It's the other guy.
Not
he
Jefferson.
said his son, his mother, and George Washington.
Let me look it up real quick. But
also with him shooting in the air, that was considered honorable. And if you shot in the air, it was considered honorable. And if the person shot you, wouldn't he go to jail or something like that? He would go for murder.
That's what a duel is. The point of a duel is to settle conflict. And if you shoot somebody, they basically they agreed on it. They're like, okay, I know I could die here. I know this guy might kill me. You're agreeing on it. So there's no. Back then, there was no. It was.
Because he was like, because I'm the fool that shot him.
Yeah, because
Why
and
would
this is
he
why.
come to regret it if he didn't go to jail or something like that
No, this is
afterwards?
why.
Yeah.
Hang on, this is why he
Look, I found
regretted. Okay, this is why he regretted it because that's why the world was wide up. He realizes that like, yo, I basically just killed my lifelong childhood friend, and it wasn't really his fault. That my life went downhill, and like you basically make your own destiny. You can't blame your misfortunes on other people. And he's like, oh, like the world was big enough for both me and Hamilton, but he didn't see it that way until it was too late. That's why he said I'm the fool who shot him because he realizes, and also what Hamilton did before the duel is what made him a fool. Ooh, look at
Yeah,
that
like,
rhyme.
as Hamilton was dying, he said, "Lawrence leads a soldier's chorus on the other side. My son is on the other side. He's with my mother on the other side. Washington is watching from the other side. Teach me how to say goodbye."
Mm-hmm. And so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
just
But
gonna
also, Liz, like with your comment about Aaron Burr's kind of one track, tunnel vision focus,
yeah.
they actually mention that a lot when he's walking on the turntable.
Yeah.
He's still very linear in his motion
Yeah.
because
So
he has that one track
yeah,
way
so
of thinking. Is whenever Hamilton's walking on it, it's always circular. He's always rotating
yeah.
because Hamilton looks at things from every angle and every different
So
every possible outcome.
so that's a perfect way for me to use this quote. And Miranda, when during Drunk History, Miranda said, when they're talking about the duel, they said at the one moment where it counted most because Hamilton was usually this reckless person who was doing whatever he wanted. Burr was cautious about his decisions, but in the one time that it actually mattered the most, Hamilton was cautious and Burr was reckless, and that defined their legacy forever. That's a quote from Miranda. So I think that's a great way to explain how the duel went. And because it did, it defined because of that. And also what I said Hamilton did something before the duel. He apparently, and this, I'm just going to quickly read this real quick. And I'm going to read this word for word. So this is what Miranda said in Drunk History. And keep in mind, he was drunk when he said this. So keep that in mind. So he said, Hamilton wrote letters before the final duel. In his last of political, I don't know if it's a genius or bad. I'm just gonna warn you, some foul language coming up right now. That's your disclaimer right here. Because this is Miranda's words, not mine. And Hamilton wrote letters before the final duel. In his last of political, I don't know if it's genius or fuck you, intentiveness, I don't know. He damned Burr for life. He wrote a bunch of effing letters saying, listen, I have to go do this duel with Aaron Burr, but I want you to know that I am a good Christian and I'm not going to fire at him. I'm going to waste my shot in the air. I never meant to kill Burr, and if Burr kills me, he's the a-hole. So he basically said, so that's why Burr says, oh, I'm the fool who shot him, because he's the one who fired at Hamilton and killed him. And because of these letters of Hamilton explaining what had happened before, like Burr was the villain. They made him look like the villain, which was ironic because Burr was they painted him as the monster, and which was ironic because he was never the monster. Burr was never the villain, but because of this duel, he became the villain because he took someone's life because he was so stubborn, I guess you can call it, about
Talk about your alphabet complex.
so
I love that he said, "I'm gonna waste my shot."
yeah. Y'all need to watch that episode. It was actually because there were so many like little things he says that references Hamilton, the actual musical. And
Yeah, if I can find it,
I'm gonna go look
if I
this
can
up later.
find it on demand, I will watch it.
History, watch it. It's such a good show. You can actually learn stuff from it. It's not just celebrities getting drunk and telling stories.
Because I've seen it for different things before. I think I saw one on who was it?
If you tell me, I can tell you exactly who it was because I know every episode of that show.
It was one on the lady who had murdered her stepmother and father.
Lizzie Borden.
That's it.
They never did an episode of Lizzie Borden.
I used to live with people who were actually directly related to Lizzie Borden. Like they could trace their roots back to Lizzie Borden.
That's awesome.
Not
man.
roots, but she was in the family.
Lizzie Borden
Also,
took an axe
I'll be
to
right
her
back.
father 40
No.
west. When she had seen what she had done, she gave her father something like that.
Okay, so here's the thing with that nursery rhyme, real quick. Just gonna go off on a little paranormal thing right here. Is that you are never supposed to say that because that will piss her ghost off, and you do not want to piss off Lizzie Borden. She's one person you don't want to make mad. So when I go to that house, if you guys come with me, if you say that rhyme in her room when I'm with you, I will literally slap you and I will leave you, and you can walk home. I'm not gonna have a mad.
Believe me, if I was in her room, I would keep my mouth shut about that.
And also, the nursery rhyme, just letting you know, it goes, Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her father 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her mother 41. That's the nursery rhyme. Anyway, so, anyway.
I got part of it mixed up.
That rhyme.
Huh?
Homework for Michael. Start memorizing that rhyme.
Oh, God. Okay, so that brings us to the last song, which is probably the longest title song in the whole entire production, which is Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story, which I think is incredibly long. But I think that's probably, of all the songs in Act 2, that one's definitely my favorite because it basically tells you how everybody else lives, how everybody else. So like Madison got the country out of bankruptcy. Jefferson created a good financial system for the country. And then Eliza coming in here like a boss, finding the first private orphanage, helping raise money for the Washington Monument. She coming over here like a boss.
Oh, we said this in the first episode of Hamilton, is that when the show opened, I believe this is the real story, I'm saying it right, the cast of Hamilton donated to that orphanage.
Yes, I said that. Yes, the entire cast helped raise money, and they all donated every penny they made from doing doing something, and they all donated it to that orphanage, which is still standing, which I think is incredible. And then also,
What's the orphanage?
And that's not the only time that the cast of Hamilton has made a donation to aid people. I remember and Michelle, you sent this video to us when Lynn was on the Graham Norton show with the cast of Mary Poppins Returns. He was talking about how he was going back into Hamilton.
Yes, and he was in Hades, and it was like somewhere in the Caribbean area. It was one of those islands. He went to.
It was one of the Caribbean islands, had just gotten hit by a hurricane or something.
It was Puerto Rico.
I have the hurricane. What?
And he said that all of the funds and money raised through the performances they would do would go to aiding those islands.
Yep, it was Irma, and they went and did the show in Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah, it was Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Hamilton cats have been like, they are on it with donating and helping out people, which is amazing. And also we found out Angelica was buried at Trinity Church, which my dad apparently had gone to Trinity Church, and I told him I want to go to Trinity Church.
Oh, and so actually I was doing this last night. I was looking this up last night. I was watching the show. Alexander, Eliza, I think Angelica, and Thomas and Eliza's first son are all buried in Trinity Church.
Yeah, and I feel like
Peggy is the only one not buried there.
Who? Burr?
Peggy is the only Skylar sister not buried there.
Where's Peggy buried then?
Let me look it back up real quick.
But yeah, so Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story is basically it's the closing number, and for some reason, I guess Eliza dies of a heart attack or something because she literally just goes ah, and then the screen goes black.
Oh, Liz, she's buried at the Albany Rural Cemetery in Menands, New York.
Oh, okay. Well, at least she's still in New York, but she's in within distance. But
So what happened to Aaron Burr after he shot Alexander Hamilton?
His whole life was over because, like I said before, Hamilton like damned him for life, like screwed him over big time. So like
since Hamilton died and Burr lived, Hamilton became a martyr. Hamilton became a martyr and like a hero and someone to be respected, while Burr became
this monster that everybody saw.
A monster, a damn soul, pretty much.
Because everyone.
And I know.
He went from being a great political figure and one of the founding fathers to the man who killed Alexander Hamilton, like that.
Yeah, no matter what he did in his past life, nobody cared what he did. He could have ended the American Revolution. He could have been the man who killed the king and saved the country or whatever. He could have saved the freaking asteroid from smashing it, but no, all that is gone because he's now known as the guy who killed Alexander Hamilton.
And Thomas Jefferson.
We all know
Thomas Jefferson tried to basically get away with all the work that Alexander Hamilton tried to do with the money and everything with our economy.
He built
He tried, but he couldn't do it.
No, he did. He did it successfully, but he built our financial system based off of what Alexander Hamilton had already started building. So he built onto Alexander's work.
Because in the musical he said, "Oh, I tried to get rid of it, but I tried over and over again, but I couldn't do it."
He tried to make his own system, but no matter how many times he tried to make his own financial system, it never was as good as Alexander Hamilton's. So he's like, okay. I've got all these attempts. Let me just keep what
Washington always favored Hamilton over Burr.
Yeah.
Hamilton was always Washington's right-hand man.
Yep. Yeah.
Incidentally, is one of the songs in the musical, but still, once Burr killed Hamilton,
his whole
Burr
life
tried to redeem himself by carrying on Hamilton's political legacy.
He didn't do a very good job, but whatever.
He didn't do a very good job.
Why did George Washington? Sorry.
What?
And it's like, no matter what Burr did, no matter how many of Hamilton's aspirations and goals he carried out, it still didn't change the fact that he's the one who killed Hamilton.
Yeah, no matter what he was going to do later in his life, no one was going to care. He's going to be like, who's Aaron Burr? Oh, wait, he's the guy who killed Alexander Hamilton. Even though, like, if he had, I don't know, if he had ended slavery, which is probably a bad example, but if he had ended slavery, it wouldn't matter. Because he's like, Alexander had so much more left to do in his life. He died way too young. That's what really is making it so bad, is that he killed
somebody. Yeah, because historians are unsure if he was born in... I don't remember what years he was born, but he was either 47 or 49 at the time of his death, because they're unsure of what year he was born. I think he was either born in 1755 or 1757.
Also, how come George Washington decided not to go through another year?
Because
the re-election.
He was born in 1757.
Yeah, his Wikipedia says 55 or 57. They're not 100% sure.
Washington, he was done. He did his run. He was like, you know what? Presidency isn't for me. I just want to kick my feet up. And did he ever marry? I don't know if he ever married.
Yeah, Martha Washington. Martha's Vineyard is named after Washington's wife.
Damn. But yeah, so.
Yeah, but also because Washington was, in that time period, Washington was kind of already an old man. When he was a general for the Continental Army. By the time he was elected president, his years were numbered. He probably didn't have that much longer to live.
Yeah, so he just wanted after the war and after
the election, because, and I don't know if this is true or not, but probably 9 times out of 10, Washington would have died in office if he had been reelected.
Yeah, probably, because like after his presidency, after he fought in a flipping war, I can imagine he was exhausted. He just wanted to live out the rest of his life on a farm with some kids and a goat and a cow that would not stop moving. I don't know why, but that's how I imagine him spending the rest of his life. I imagine him sitting on a rocking chair and dying, and the rocking chair slowly stopping.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. the presidency now is a tough enough job as it is because you're trying to carry the weight of a country that is severely messed up. But can you imagine of bearing the weight of a country that's just trying to stand on its legs, that's in its infancy?
I mean, let's be fair.
Trying to find out how it's going to run and how it's going to fit into the world.
Can we also so we're not going to go way into politics because then I'm going to get really mad and really heated and it's going to get really ugly. But can we all just agree that like right now, if like Hamilton and Jefferson and all of them could see our country right now, they would be utterly disappointed. Let's just be real. Can we all agree on that?
My God. They are rolling over in their graves.
They are just like looking down on us like, man, what the hell y'all doing? We made this country for y'all and y'all just throwing it all on the they're just doing this down in heaven. They're just doing this at us.
They're like,
and I've been to two presidents' houses. I've been to Abraham Lincoln's house and I believe Thomas Jefferson.
It said that.
But I know I've definitely been to Abraham Lincoln's.
It said that Lincoln apparently a ghost can be around a lot longer. It is said that he haunts the oh shoot, what was the theater he died in?
The Ford Theater.
Yeah,
I think it's like Ford Theater.
Yeah, no, it's a Ford Theater. It is said that his ghost haunts that theater because that's where he died. And I'm just like, and I feel like they have that box closed off. Like no one can go in that box. That box is Lincoln's. Like.
Yeah, that's Lincoln's box.
Yeah, so like nobody's allowed in there. Like it still does shows and all that, but no one's sitting there. But I want to go and I want to spend the night in that theater and I want to see if I can talk to Abraham Lincoln.
It's like, think of it this way. If the story of Lincoln's life, the story.
I'm gonna go try and see if I can find those pictures. Hold on.
What now?
She'll be back.
Think of it this way. If the Ford's Theater was the Opera Populaire in Phantom of the Opera, Lincoln's box would be box 5.
Yeah.
It's like that box is for the Phantom only.
Yo.
So if the Ford's Theater Lincoln died was the Opera Populaire, that box would be reserved for Lincoln only.
I just figured out the Phantom is Abraham Lincoln. Yo. Boom.
Oh my God! Liz.
That is why box 5 is off limits because it's Abraham Lincoln and it's his box. Boom.
Oh my God! Stop it, Liz.
I'm so
quit while you're ahead.
It's me.
Anyway, hey, it's a fun little theory. There's no way it's true, but it's a fun theory.
Yeah, it's like I was sorry to veer kind of off topic a little bit. I was watching this stand-up comedy special real quick. I was watching this stand-up comedian, and he said he was doing some kind of function at the Ford's Theater where Lincoln was assassinated, and I think like President Bush was there, and I'm talking about George Bush, like 9/11 President Bush.
Yeah.
And the comedian said he was inside Ford's Theater and he was looking at the box where Lincoln was shot, and like he got this weird feeling.
Yeah, that happens. I should know.
Got these chills.
Yeah, so like here's the thing with ghosts is that we need to just do one paranormal episode one night, just talk all paranormal stuff. But no, the thing with ghosts is that like the temperature will suddenly drop if there is some and also if a ghost really wants your attention, like you'll get like a sickly feeling. Like I would know because I went to like a haunted place down in Florida with Dev. Not Dev. It wasn't Dev. It was somebody else. I don't know. It was probably one of my roommates. I don't know. I don't remember.
Where?
I just felt sick. I was 100% fine when we got there, but as I started walking around, I don't remember where we went. But I just suddenly felt so sick and like so cold, and they're like. And I looked white. Like, I looked so pale. They're like, Liz, you okay? You look sick. I'm like, I don't feel good. And apparently it was because something was trying to get my attention and it kept drawing me to this room. And it was the one room that we're not allowed in. So, of course, I went in.
They never wanted you to go in.
Yeah, so apparently, no, I went in the room and it was a very bad mistake. But anyway, Michelle, what did you find?
Wait, what?
Okay, so I've been to Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Jackson's home. That's where I've been.
Oh, you've been to the Hermitage. You've been to the Hermitage?
Yeah.
Oh, I went there once.
So
Let me tell you guys. The Hermitage Museum, Andrew Jackson's mansion in Tennessee is beautiful.
Anyway.
But let me tell you, it looks nothing like it did when it was an actual cotton plantation.
Oh yeah, that.
Mm-hmm. So that bottom picture right there is that's the back of the mansion. That's the back porch and the back balcony.
And that's
cabin right there.
That's a slave quarters.
Yep, and that cabin right there is Alfred's cabin, who was like he was basically the head slave of the man. He was the head slave. But even after Andrew Jackson set him free, he continued to live on property. Mm-hmm. And that top photo right there is the original carriage driveway the carriages would have gone up when they were approaching the mansion. But that road's blocked off now. You can't go down there.
Man, that wouldn't stop me. I'd walk down there.
Yeah, it's like, so from the back of the mansion back into what have been the cotton fields and the butcher house and everything, it's all green grass and rolling hills now.
Yeah,
but back when...
What?
Like back when the grounds were actually used by slaves to make cotton and butcher animals and things, there was no grass. It was just
dirt,
mud, dirt, and blood.
So
that's the only thing that was on the ground.
That's not creepy at all. So anyway,
that top picture is a suit that Andrew Jackson wore, and the dress was one of his wife's dresses.
And then there's their carriage. The bottom picture is of their carriage.
So yeah, okay. So we're gonna.
Anyway,
so
we're gonna go.
Sorry, go
ahead.
ahead.
If you guys want any more, sorry to self-plug this, but if you guys want a detailed walk-around live stream of the actual Hermitage Museum, come to my channel. I did a full 5-hour live stream there.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
On the ground. I saw the smokehouse, the slaves' quarters. I got to see the field where the actual cotton used to sit.
Yeah. So y'all, I have Mike's link to Mike's channel down below in the description. If you guys do want to go check that out, because I actually watched it. And it was actually very interesting because you talked to somebody who worked there too.
Oh yes. So kind of towards the end of the stream, and this was the highlight moment for me, was I was talking to one of the employees who worked there, and he showed me this one particular brick that was in the smokehouse behind the mansion, and it had these 3 fingerprints laid into it from the slave who made it. And it was like the eeriest thing, because when I touched the fingers, it was almost like I was touching the hand of the slave who made it. Because it still had the knuckle grooves, and you can kind of see the fingerprint markings of the fingers too.
Which I think is creepy.
That's creepy, but cool.
It's like when you go to a historic building, you touch the walls or the banner or the railway for the stairs, or you touch something that the occupants would have touched, and it's almost like you're touching their hand.
Well,
serious feeling.
Not to say because this is gonna sound like complete BS, but I touched the Titanic.
How
did you touch a whole?
I actually touched the Titanic.
Was it a piece of the hull that they had dragged up?
What way to ruin the story, Mike?
I mean, because you're still touching the Titanic. Because obviously you cannot touch it.
So,
on the board.
Where did you touch it?
Mike, he doesn't ruin my story anymore. No, I'm just joking. I love Mike too much.
Yeah, so Liz, go ahead and tell your story.
So there was an exhibit in Charlotte. As Michelle continues to hold up a book that we kind of moved on from. But anyway.
Yeah, this is Abraham Lincoln's house.
So there was an exhibit. I think it was Houston or Charlotte. I think it was Charlotte. It was me, my brother, my dad, my grandma, my nana, and my granddad. We all went, because at this time I was obsessing about the Titanic. I loved, because we were learning about it in school, so I was just wanting to learn everything I could about it.
I just watched the movie the other day.
And so they had, it was actually kind of cool. They had all these things that they brought up from it. I feel like I'm doing my monologue now, but they had spoons, clothes. It was pretty impressive that all this stuff still existed. But they had a piece of the ship of the hull on display, and it was like you could see a little piece of the letter, and it showed you what picture on they had a big picture of the ship, and it showed you the little in red what part of the ship was.
Was it part of the keel, the nose of the ship, or was it part of the
Mid
it was part of the bow, which is the back.
the back aft.
No, the bow is the front.
Oh no, the other one then.
So the stern.
Yeah, stern. But and they had
the big rounded part of the boat where third class passengers would have hung out.
Yeah. And so they had a little hole about maybe that big. And they're like, "Hey, tell your friends you touched the Titanic." So you just put your hand in there and just like touch it, and then you can go and tell people that you got to touch the Titanic. So
okay. What letter or letters was on it?
I couldn't even tell. All I know is I had some type of letter on it.
I don't remember that.
But, it was actually really cool, and also I have it in the attic. But I have a piece. I've got a piece of Fort Sumter. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, Liz, because that makes sense that you would have touched part of the stern, because the way the bow is set up, it's meant to go forward. So while it was sinking, it was just going in a nice straight line. Mm-hmm. Nothing was really breaking off until it hit the surface and went boom, boom.
Yeah.
But now the stern is rounded.
It looked like it was part of the bottom part, like where one of the rudders would be, but it wasn't that big of a piece. So the piece was probably about maybe that big. So it probably had like one letter on it.
Because the stern is rounded like that, it wasn't going in a straight line.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of sinking straight down, kind of like a cork. But then the pressure inside imploded. And then that's when it leveled out and just started rotating.
Yeah.
And while it's rotating, all these pieces of the hull and everything is just ripping away. Yeah. And that's why when you look at pictures of the stern crash site now, it's almost unrecognizable.
Yeah, it looks like crashed. It's been like twisted. And also because people have like and also because like
people have gone down there and messed with it.
Yeah, like
also the rusticles on the ship are slowly eating away the iron of the metal.
Yeah, so there were rumors of them trying to bring up the Titanic and bring it up out of the water. No, if you take that thing out of the salt water, it's gonna disintegrate immediately when it has contact with fresh air. So just leave it down at the bottom of the ocean and just build another one if you want. Don't build another one because you made a Titanic 2 and it was the same exact movie as Titanic 1. The same exact thing happened.
But see, it's like they say within like a couple of decades, there's going to be no trace of the ship left.
No!
Because when the ship originally crashed, you could see a good majority of like the officers' quarters and the bridge still.
If you go down there now, like you can't even. It's nearly impossible to recognize it.
Mm-hmm. It's like the back half of the bow section where the ship broke.
Yeah.
It's all bent downwards because the rusticles were just eating its way into the bowels of the ship.
They could do to preserve it a little bit more. If they could somehow build like a dome over it and then kind of flush all the water out, they could do that. That'd be a good way to preserve it.
Yeah, but that would take some mad technology.
I know, but you never know. Like,
you never know.
Yeah, they are actually building.
They brought up the Hunley, which a lot of people don't know. It was the very first submarine ever made, and that crashed. And they found it. It disappeared, and they found it. And they brought that sucker up. So if they can bring that up, then they should be able to build a dome around the Titanic because that thing,
but
30 years from now,
they are building 2 versions of the Titanic.
They are.
One version is being built by a businessman, and it's going to be saleable.
Oh God, here we go again.
And I think it's going to be designed like the original Titanic. They got the blueprints from the company that now owns the White Star Line.
I would love to see those
off the ship. Well, obviously now it's going to have modern engines and everything, modern pumps, and I'm pretty sure.
Fingers crossed.
I'm pretty sure there are going to be some amenities not included in this ship. Like, I don't think they're gonna have the swimming pool at the bottom of the ship on E deck. They're not gonna have that because I think they want to have those bulkheads sealed off.
Yeah.
Unlike they were on the Titanic, because those watertight barriers didn't go any higher than E deck.
Yeah.
So as the water flooded in, it just kept going over each and every freaking bulkhead all the way back.
But
the bulkheads on this ship are gonna be.
I love how this turned into talking about the Titanic. And not about Hamilton.
This shows you where you are. This just shows us where we are.
But this is my last thing, and then we're gonna go back into Hamilton. But it's sad because you actually think about it, 30 or 50 years from now, kids are gonna watch the Titanic movie and be like, "Oh, that's not real," and there's not gonna be any evidence of the Titanic left on the sea bottom because it's all gonna be gone. Except, of course, we have pictures now and all the items that we. I think that's why they're trying to gather.
There's gonna be imprints in the ground of where
it landed, but that's why they're trying to grab as much stuff from that ship as possible. They're trying to like grab any items that they can find. They found a clock. I know they found a clock that showed the exact time that the ship began to sink or actually hit the seafloor. Because once it hits the seafloor, this clock stopped working. So that's the only evidence of the exact time that we have, which I think is pretty cool.
Some of the clocks stopped as soon as it was underwater enough, like the grand staircase clock. I think it stopped. I think that clock did stop at 2:20.
Yeah, but yeah.
The last dome that covered their staircase caved in, and all this water flooded in.
Mike. That was, I'm sorry. I just don't mean to cut you off, but yeah, we're getting
in the green room.
There was one more fact I was gonna say, but I'll save it for after the stream list.
No, but actually, as soon as we're done with the stream, I gotta go. But yeah, y'all. So next week we are doing Rent, and I swear to the heavens above, you guys do not come here prepared. I'm gonna be sad. I will cry. So everybody, watch Rent. If you have access to the movie, watch the movie because at least it's something.
Don't watch the live version, which technically it isn't live.
Don't mention that. But yes, next week we will be doing Rent finally, and then we're doing. I think we agreed on The Little Mermaid. Oh, Mike's excited. All right, so y'all, thank you for joining us, and Morgan, thank you again for sending us that video. It means a lot that you actually took the time to send it to us. So it meant a lot. And that's pretty much it. You guys got anything else to say before we go?
Go subscribe to all of our channels.
Yeah, I have links to everybody's channel down below, and I guess we'll see you guys next week.
And if you haven't seen Hamilton, you need to.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, there's no excuse. If you don't have Disney Plus, use the 7-day free trial to watch it, and then screen record it.
Or if you have Verizon, you can get like a year free.
Yeah, that's true.
Bingo.
But anyway, y'all have a great night. Stay safe out there, and also quick little shout out to Naya Rivera, who passed away recently. So we miss you. Anyway, so yeah, and if you guys don't know who she is, she played Santana on Glee, which was my life when I was in, I think it was like high school. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah. So that's all I have. Y'all have a great night. Stay safe out there. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.